All right, so I've shown you how to build an app where, you can click a next button and just kind of walk through the pictures like a slideshow. Okay, but there's kind of this 5 here, which is specific to a list of a certain size. So I kind of have a feeling if my list got bigger or smaller, that this app would stop working. And I kind of want to just illustrate that to you. So let's say I add another image, so my data changes. And when my data changes, I don't really want it to change my code to get it to work. But let's say I add one more file. So I'm just gonna go to my designer and I'm gonna add this picture of Kamala. And I think I can just drag this in. Let's see if it works. Okay, good. I've got this new file. I go back. I'm gonna, the way you can add new items to a list you build is click on this mutator button, and then you can just drag this little item guy in. Okay, so I've got a fifth item, and I just need a red text block, and I think it's just Kamala.jpg. Okay, so I really what I hope is I could just modify my list. And sometimes in your app, you dynamically let your list get changed, right? In this sense, it's fixed, and me as a coder is changing my data. But I don't think this is going to work anymore. Let's see. So if I go back and preview this, um, it shows my first picture, shows my second picture, third, fourth. Now it should show Kamala next, but it goes back to the first one. Okay. So anyway, just trying to illustrate, why actually referring to the specific number 5 is not good. Now, the way to fix it is actually pretty simple. Really, we want to kind of more generically refer to the size of the list. Okay, and in fact, there's a block called length of. Okay, in the list folder, I can just drag this out. I can get rid of the default stuff. And what I want to know is the length of the pick list. So if I go to variables, I can grab the reference to the pick list. And if my index, actually, if my index gets bigger, right? If my index gets, let's say the length of the pick list is 5. So if my index becomes 6, then I would want to do this. Okay. So now my code, doesn't refer specifically to the size of this list, and it certainly doesn't refer specifically to these file names. So even if I completely changed my data, changed my variable, I think my app will still work. Anyway, let's test this out and see if this works now. And if it shows Kamala as the fifth item, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. Okay, and then I think we should be able to jump back to the first one. Okay, anyway, so key thing here is you want to write your kind of dynamic code, the code that's making things change. You want it to be generic in the sense that it doesn't refer, directly to like numbers like 5. Referring to 1 is fine because that's like the 1 is where each list starts, right? But referring to 5, anytime you see a number or some random number like that, your code is probably too specific, and you want to kind of make it a little more generic. And this length of block makes that happen.